half an hour at 8:30, some carefully planned tricks lead to red faces all round in Celebrity Stitch-Up. But first, we check on the progress of our 3 teenagers on their new diet in a tonight's special Food on the Brain.
Tonight, Food and the Brain.
Usually before the diet started, I'd be dead tired and I'd be like, oh, I don't want to go to school, do I get out of bed? But now I can concentrate more.
Does a healthy body create a healthy mind?
He's a lot better. We're having more conversations. He is more calmer and he's more gentle. And he seems like he's grown up.
How a new eating plan changed 3 disruptive kids.
At the start, he had all the classic signs of a blood sugar problem and a diet that would explain it. But now, Richard's blood sugar is under control. But you've given it a good go, haven't you?
I don't quit.
Good evening. On Monday, we introduced you to 3 teenagers, all excluded from mainstream schools, and all of them sharing a typical unhealthy diet. Psychological tests showed they had poor concentration, short attention spans, and a tendency to be disruptive. Clinical tests also revealed high blood sugar levels, food intolerances, and worrying mineral deficiencies. The boys all agreed to follow specially tailored diets designed to correct those medical problems. But at the end of the month, would their personalities and behavior also show an improvement? With the conclusion of our 2-part experiment, here's Linda Dubilly.
This is Reese, Liam and Richard, all 14 and all excluded from their previous schools because of their behaviour.
Oh, you're getting all these.
Reese has trouble concentrating and can be disruptive. Liam is painfully quiet, withdrawn and finds it difficult to mix. While Richard has attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and can be aggressive.
You'll get bored eventually if I eat really slow.
When we first met them, they were all living on fast food diets, high in fat, sugar, salt and caffeine.
Will you try it? No. Just tell me what you think.
Nutrition expert Patrick Holford began designing individual healthy diets for each of them. But it was clear from the start that his job wouldn't be easy.
I'm not even trying that.
Okay.
He based their diets on the results of blood, hair and urine samples, which had revealed alarming deficiencies in their nutrition intake.
You are a sugar junkie. These results are absolutely typical. The results fit their behaviour. So really, it's not surprising. Is it shocking? Yes, it is shocking, because we're seeing outrageous imbalances in brain chemistry, simply caused by eating the kind of foods that sadly millions of kids are eating, and no one's doing anything about it.
We'll blindfold Reese.
The boys' behavioural problems were there for all to see in these tests, designed by the psychologist Cynthia McVeigh. Simple tasks like completing a jigsaw defeated Reese.
I think he's getting a little bit, not frustrated in an angry sense, but a bit, you know, he's struggling trying to find pieces and he's kind of pulling them in his hand.
I'm giving up in a minute if I can't do it.
Putting up a tent bored Richard into submission.
What's the big plan now? There's no point.
Oh dear, dear, dear. Richard's thinking about giving up.
And after just a few minutes of this test involving a model racetrack, Liam decided he'd had enough.
Nah, I'm not doing it.
You decided you don't want to do it?
Yep.
Okay.
I think all of them, perhaps in their heart of hearts, would like to see something that would help them forward, to change something about themselves or the way they behave or their lives, because clearly they're involved in this because they have had problems.
Tasted tune yet, Reese?
The boys are now into the first few days of their improved diets.
Nice.
Reese, who'd been found to have a mineral deficiency, has been told to eat large amounts of fish and fruit.
How'd you find the food, Reese?
Well, Patrick said to us, has explained us about what's inside foods. I mean, fish is omega-6, and that's better than eating meat. drinking this instead of cola and fizzy drinks and stuff like that, so drinking fresh orange.
Liam's on a similar diet designed to boost his low levels of B vitamins. To the surprise of his stepdad, Jimmy, he's enjoying it.
You know, this sort of food's been in the house anyway, but he'd always say it smells of something and he'd hate the look of tuna. But once, because of this, he's tried it and he absolutely loves tuna fish. You know, and he used to drink like 6 litres of Coca-Cola, but now he's drinking spring water and apple juice. It's unbelievable.
Richard also seems to be adapting to his new regime, even though it's meant a drastic reduction of refined sugar intake.
Oh, he's eating loads of fruit. It's about 5-8 oranges a night. He's eating 2 or 3 apples.
And today I had one of mixed fruit things.
The first week nearly over, and the boys are packed off to Drayton Manor theme park. Reese's mum, brothers and sisters go too. Our psychologist has asked us to organise the day out so that she can observe any changes in their behaviour since she last saw them. Early results are encouraging.
That was good.
Oh, Liam's looking a little bit more alert there.
See, he's putting his tuppence worth in all the time, which I have to say, because he was so, when I first saw him, he was really quite withdrawn, and he really genuinely didn't want to have much to do and didn't want to do the group activities and this kind of thing. So I think it's very positive for Liam, this.
But there is another test at the theme park. Can they resist the temptation of fast food?
Yeah, can I have chips and some chicken?
Thank you.
Not a totally successful result, but the diet does allow some treats, and they do steer clear of sugary drinks.
Healthy meal. Perfectly healthy.
Mine's not healthy, but it'll do.
At this early stage of the experiment, it seems Liam is benefiting most from his new diet.
I'm going on it, Richard's going on it.
Easily bored and often withdrawn,
You should have come on that, you're sick.
he now seems more willing to interact with others.
I know we're getting so.
Since Liam's been on this, he's changed a total lot. He's come out of himself. He seems more alert, not as tired as he used to be.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's got more energy.
And when did you first start noticing the change?
After a few days.
Just after a few days?
Yeah. And it's surprising, I didn't think it'd be that quick.
At the end of week 1, all 3 mums and their kids are called to a meeting with a nutritionist. He wants to keep track of how the diets are progressing.
Okay, but basically you've done it. So you've been eating breakfast and you've done the dinner with the meat and fish.
Yeah.
So brilliant. So are you okay to keep doing that for the next week?
Yep.
Excellent.
All the boys have ditched burgers, chocolate and sugary drinks in favour of fish, seeds and apple juice.
So how's it been for you, Angela?
It's been okay, because he likes vegetables and he likes fruit.
But the critical issue for you is sugar.
For a boy who ate around 120 teaspoons a day, cutting out sugar is the biggest challenge.
You've done the hard bit, so I think in the next week you're going to really find some improvement, provided you don't sort of slip back into, guzzling tons of sugar. It's literally like an addiction. So Reese, you've been writing a whole book here on what you've been eating.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. Thank you very much.
Reese has stuck to the diet rigidly, but like Richard, he's missing his frequent sugar hits.
So how are you finding the diet?
Hard.
Hard. What's the hardest bit for you?
Not having any sugar.
Yeah. And do you find you literally crave it? No.
Just need it
You
sometimes.
want it, you need it. And when does that happen? Is that more in the
Like
morning or the
about
afternoon?
3 times a week or something like that. It's not every day.
Okay. They've made really good progress in this first week. It isn't easy to change your diet so radically, especially when these kids have allergies to foods like wheat and milk that are in just about anything. So I take my hat off to them.
Right, it's week 2 now, and we've just been shopping, and we've got some chocolate, some dark chocolate with no milk in it. We've got loads of fruit, loads of grapes and everything, and orange, fresh orange, and we've got loads of bananas, loads of apples, discovering new foods that I can eat that are still healthy for me. And I've got these as well. some sunflower seeds, and I've got some pumpkin seeds as well, because they've got the pumpkin seeds and the sunflower seeds have got omega-6 in them, and the fish has got omega-3 in it, and they're the things you need for your brain or something, and I don't know.
New diet means new recipes. Today Reese's mum is cooking chicken and vegetables for him and younger brother Cade.
Yep.
You all right there, Cade? Yeah. I do think he's sleeping better, and I've found a difference with him in the mornings. It was very hard to get him up of a morning, but I'll shout him once now and he'll be up.
And at the halfway point in the diet, it's time for the psychologist to observe the boy's behaviour again. Reese and Richard are sent go-karting.
Perfect.
All competitors pay close attention to this briefing.
This day out is intended to test their concentration levels and their ability to pay attention.
I mean, it is remarkable that they would sit and concentrate for that length of time and also be relatively still. But they're very competent, really, aren't they? And there doesn't seem to be any cavalier showing off extra, behaviour. They seem to be quite compliant with what they're supposed to do. None of this crazy bumping around that you might get in children who are perhaps a bit overactive or a bit high.
And it seems the boys are beginning to recognise a change in themselves. A fortnight after changing their eating habits, they're focusing on their tasks and enjoying themselves more.
I've got a much bigger concentration span than that now that I'm on this diet. Trust me.
Sunday evening, and Angela prepares one of Richard's new favourites, kippers.
He does miss his beef burgers and chicken burgers. He does like them. And that's the only really bread that he really eats. And he's not actually craved for chocolate or anything.
So Richard is sticking to the diet, and at home they're seeing real improvements in behaviour.
I'm beginning to get a conversation with him, which before it was only yeah, no. Come get your food, love.
He seems a lot happier. He's, yeah, he is. He's happy. His attitude seems to be a bit nicer as well. He's not as aggressive.
No.
He's been more laughable. He'll make a joke about something.
Doctors diagnosed attention deficit hyperactivity disorder in Richard when he was 11. They prescribed drugs to help calm his difficult behaviour.
I didn't want him. I really and truly didn't want him. I wanted him out of my life. I just couldn't. I know it's awful. And then when I found out that there was a problem with him, and there was a name for it, the ADH, it became understandable. And obviously I read up on it and stuff, and it's like when there's a reason for it, you can step past his behaviour, and you can learn to control it. You can actually let certain things go because they don't really matter.
But many medical experts now believe that nutrition may provide an alternative to drugs, or at least work in conjunction with them in children with ADHD.
There is evidence that nutrition can improve conditions such as ADHD, schizophrenia, depression and so on, which currently we use medication to treat. And it appears to be potentially a very gentle way and positive way of dealing with those distressing conditions. More importantly, if better diet actually can treat these, it is possible that it can also prevent them in the first place.
Since starting their diets, Richard and Reese have noticed another benefit. They're both less tired. It's late afternoon, a time when they usually lose interest and become irritable. But both boys, who share a talent for music, have no trouble concentrating during their session in a recording studio.
Usually before the diet started, I'd be dead tired and I'd be like, oh, I don't want to go to school, do I get out of bed? But yeah, I've got more energy now and concentration, so I can concentrate more on what people are saying and stuff.
He certainly, he's completely focused on what he's doing, and you would expect it because it's music's such a great love of his, but he's
obviously
very calm, very talented, very focused on his music. And it's a shame because you do feel with lads like this, they are nice lads, they are good fun, and they have much that's creative and good about them. And often the problem is that the focus tends to be on bad behaviour because that's disruptive, because that's when people have to do something about it.
Yeah, mate.
But as the final week gets underway, it's Liam who's showing the biggest changes. His normal diet of hot dogs, chips and litres of sugary drinks is now a thing of the past.
It's unbelievable. When we started this, I never thought he'd carry it on. I didn't think he'd even taste it. To see him eating tuna fish is unbelievable.
Today, his parents get a visit from the nutritionist.
He seems a lot more alert, doesn't he?
He does.
He's tired in the mornings.
Yeah, he's getting up early,
more
isn't he?
get up and go sort of thing.
So he's waking up better?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And his mood seems to be a lot better through the day.
And is he interacting with you more as well?
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah. So have you noticed different, is he talking more?
Yeah, he's come more chatty on it.
Coming out of himself.
Yeah, got
Great.
a lot more confidence.
Great. And how about at school? Have you heard any reports how he's getting on?
He has been sent home less, hasn't he? He's not been sent home at all since he's been on this diet.
No,
but
not
before
once.
that, he was sent home because he wouldn't go in class and that.
Mm.
So he does seem to have settled down a bit more in school because he's not been sent home.
It's a similar story at Richard's house.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
He's a lot better. We're having more conversations. Forgive me, Richard, but his face is clearing up. His spots are going as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he is more calmer and he's more gentle. And he seems like he's grown up all of a sudden in a matter of like a week or so. He's sort of like grown up. Even in school, the teacher that was with us this morning in the meeting has actually said that Richard is like he's matured more. And it's only been in the last week or so that she's noticed. As before, where he would actually fly off the handle, he's now actually sitting down and thinking about it and then not actually flying off the handle, actually talking about it without raised voices, without the head lowered and everything. He has improved greatly.
With the 4-week healthy eating experiment drawing to a close, there's a day out in Blackpool to celebrate. The 3 teenagers, all known for their disruptive, aggressive or withdrawn personalities, appear to have changed. Their families have noticed it, their teachers have noticed it, and our psychologist has noticed it.
I think with Richard, in repose, he looks much calmer, his face is much more relaxed, he looks physically much better, and he seems to be much less jerky and much less fidgety in his movements. There's not so much of this going on with him, which I was very aware of. He was always like this, he'd be standing beside you sort of hopping about.
Yeah.
He's much quieter, much gentler, and his face is very, very relaxed now in the main, compared to the way he had been at the start of this.
All right, I'm going to show you one of my favourite tricks. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, this is the famous vanishing, what have we got? Oh, we've got a 2 of spades.
Yep.
Famous vanishing 2 of spades trick. All I do is I put it on top of the whole deck, and I put the whole thing in here. And it really does go in. None of that funny stuff, it really goes in.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah?
it.
I think the classic big difference has got to be with Liam, who started off very introverted, not liking a lot of interaction, head down, not even joining into a lot of things. And gradually in the way through you can see him beginning to talk a bit more, beginning to show a bit more interest, starting to look very clearly into people's faces. But just looking at the footage, you can clearly see an enormous difference.
You can tell a lot from his body language.
Yes, yes. He looks very cheerful, very happy, and very, I don't know, there's a contentedness about him that I would have said he certainly didn't have when I first met him.
So you just rub 4 times?
Oh, I did. Sorry, that spoiled it. You know what that does? It makes them all disappear. Every single card, all 52. Front, back, every single card really has gone.
Whoa.
Whoa, you're
Don't
right.
know how he's going to do that.
Actually, Reese seems a lot calmer. Do you notice that?
Yes, I would think that's the laid backness that we're seeing. Instead of feeling that he's got to be at the forefront of everything, he's maybe more settled in himself, and maybe he doesn't have this giant push to jump around that he might get. But he seems to be much more settled in his behaviour, much calmer.
But so much for the anecdotal evidence. The boys are about to find out why they're feeling and behaving so much better. At the start of the experiment, they all underwent blood tests that revealed nutritional deficiencies. Liam showed alarmingly high levels of homocysteine, linked with low vitamin B intake, which affects moods, energy and learning ability. 4 weeks ago, his homocysteine was measured at 24. And now?
Your level has dropped to 9.7.
Wow.
Okay, so the absolute ideal is below 7, but you've gone almost all the way to ideal.
Still got a bit more to do.
A little bit more to do, but by now
Well, it's gone profit down.
Absolutely, and by now you should be feeling a lot sharper. How are you feeling?
Quite more energetic.
More energetic?
Yes, more energy.
And what about your concentration, memory?
More better.
Yeah?
Yep.
So things are making more sense?
Mm-hmm.
And your mood?
It's alright.
Have you been getting into less trouble?
Yep.
Yeah. And Donna, how has Liam been?
It's been a lot more livelier.
Yeah.
You know, got a lot more confidence in himself.
How do you feel on the diet?
Alright.
I mean, are you happy to keep going with the diet?
I am. I'm gonna
Says he
stick
wants
to
to
it.
stay on it.
Yeah? You want to stick to it?
Yeah.
And are you enjoying your food more?
Yeah.
Because
But
before...
I get that level right now.
Yeah, you're going to get that level, don't you? So you're going for gold.
I'm determined.
Next, the results of Reese's latest blood test. 4 weeks ago, he was lacking vital minerals. Not now.
And do you remember we measured the cryptopyroles?
Yeah.
It meant you needed more zinc.
Yeah.
And they're very, very high.
Yeah.
Your level's completely normal now.
Yeah.
Completely normal. So, you know, it's really worked.
Finally, Richard, whose early blood test revealed evidence of his addiction to sugary drinks.
At the start, he had all the classic signs of a blood sugar problem and a diet that would explain it. But now, those symptoms have gone. So Richard's blood sugar now is under control. But you've given it a good go, haven't you?
I don't quit.
Well done. They're absolute heroes. They really went for it. And, you know, it's tough for them. It's easy for me to look at these results and let them know what to do, but they did all the hard work. I was very, very impressed.
And what are the verdicts from the boys themselves?
So how's it been, Reese?
It's been great. It's been fantastic and it's been hard. What about you, Lee? Great and more confidence. Yeah, more energy. He's definitely got a lot more confidence now and a lot more energy.
And what would your message be to other kids out there?
To do a diet and get off junk food.
So after 4 weeks of healthy eating, they want to carry on. We don't know if they'll succeed, but the early signs are good.
Linda Dubilly reporting. And that's all we have time for this evening. We're taking a short break over the bank holiday, but we're back next Friday at 8 o'clock. Until then, from all of us here, goodbye, and thank you for joining us.
Coming up next, hidden cameras and practical jokes in Celebrity Stitch Up. Then things get tense in Hell's Kitchen at 9, and the second part of Celebrity Stitch Up is at 10.